Thank you for having me on your wonderful platform. Looking at local government autonomy in Nigeria, I think it's long overdue because for we have seen under Nigerian democracy since this nascent democracy from 1999 to date. We have a situation where, just like the Supreme Court put it, the state government have severally, repeatedly, continually received, withheld, misappropriate local government funding. And if you look at the intention of those that drafted the constitution of saying there should be need for local government state joint accounts, the intention was because by the time the accountation of the state goes to Abuja to receive what belongs to the state from Abuja at the end of the month, receive on behalf of the local government in his state, what they ought to do is there is a particular percentage of internally generated revenue of that state that you need to add to what you receive on behalf of the local government, add to it, give to the local governments. But on the contrary, what we are seeing is a situation where after the state governors receive what belongs to the state and what belongs to the local governments in their states, they will start appropriating it by themselves, misappropriating it. They don't give them what is due to them. And these have made the third tier of government, of course the local government level, undeveloped. So for me, I think it's a work of development because the judgment is very clear that one, the governors going forward will not be receiving funds meant for local government. Because I think we saw a review saying that the fund that went into local government, the 774 local governments in Nigeria in 2023 alone runs into 1.something trillion. So you can imagine. Now, the judgment is very clear that going forward, the fund will be credited to the accounts of the 774 local governments. And that issue has to do with expiration of tenure of local government chairmen. That if a local government chairman or local government chairman in a particular state are elected for a period of 3 years, that the governor have no power henceforth to terminate their tenure before the expiration of the tenure for which they are elected. So by the way, this judgment is protecting the tenure of elected local government chairmen. Other issue have to do with that the governors going forward have no power under the constitution to appoint critical committee chairmen. And if they do, that the federal government through the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and the Ministry of Finance have right to withhold funds meant for those local governments until the state conduct local government election. But for me, to deepen democracy at the level of local government, I would review that apart from this laudable judgment, we equally need to deal with the issue of the conduct of local government election. As it stands today, the power to conduct local government election lie with state electoral body. This we are seeing local government chairmen, the state electoral body, state governors abused without exception. Call it PDP, call it APC, call it ABGA. This power have been abused severally by all of them. If you go and conduct the election in a state that is controlled by PDP, PDP will win all the chairmanship position, all the councillorship position. It's a misnomer. But there's no way you can tell me that in that state you don't have areas where APC, ABGA, Labour Party may have strongholds. In the same way, you can conduct the election in a state where APC is ruled as governor. APC will win all the local government chairmanship position and all the councillorship position. It's a misnomer. The only governor that conducted the election and we saw opposition parties winning is El-Rufai as governor of Kaduna State. That's why I see don't power for him in that regard. Even though I disagree with him in some area of his style of politics, but in the area of allowing democracy to strive in the conduct of local government election, we are seeing state electoral body in Kaduna State under El-Rufai conducting an election where you see opposition parties like PDP winning significantly in local government chairmanship positions and councillorship positions. So to this extent, I would review that we should review our constitution to the extent of removing the power to conduct election from state electoral body. Let INEC start conducting it. I think that's my solution. I think the chairman themselves should know the implication. When I mean the implication, if you are a chairman, or let me use myself as a case study. If I'm a chairman of a local government and the fund of my local government is credited into the local government account, and I'm the herdsman in that local government, I should know the implication of returning the money to the governor, because when it comes to accountability, nobody is going to question the governor based on the money I receive. To that extent, I will prefer to resign if it comes to compulsion that I must release the money to state. Of course, if I cry out and that is not helping situation, I throw in the towel, because I know the implication that when it comes to accountability, you'll be held accountable, responsible for misappropriation or otherwise. Truth is, if the money is released to local government directly and a state governor demands that money should be returned to the state coffers, people should ask questions. Those local government chairmen should cry out. Because we are at a level where everybody wants democracy to work. If I must tell you the truth, as it stands, democracy is not working at the last tier of government. That's why you seldom see development at that level. That's why you see people, even rural urban drift is on the increase, because they are not feeling the impact of governance. If you allow this money to trickle down to the grassroots by receiving it directly from the federation account to the local government, you will start seeing developmental projects. The local government chairman can start initiating programs that will affect the people that they will not have finance to finance them. The constitution needs to be reviewed. It should be robust to the extent that it will not give an individual overriding power in decision making. Because however I look at it, you cannot totally remove human interference. That's why when we think out with the idea of electoral acts, when we think out with the way and manner election result is being collated, you see that it's difficult to have free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria, because you have some level of human interference. You cannot use robot to manage the system. So as long as you have human processes that human is managing, you must have some level of people who are not sincere, who are not patriotic, who may want to do one or two illegal activities. But for me, I think the process should be such that you minimize an individual having overriding power in decision making.
The autonomy of local government being guaranteed by Supreme Court is a welcome development, but I want to say the beautiful one are not yet born, and this is not the, it's not yet the time to lay the rest, as one poet talk. It's a welcome development. As a Nigeria, I'm happy, but it still remains some clause like who will conduct the local government election in the states. It's our state governor. The allegiance of local government is still lie to the governor. It's still with governor. Because how you imagine a governor is very important. For instance, how a governor imagine Nigeria is very important. You know the issue of godfatherism. But what I know is that to some extent now, some chairmen have now what I want to call sword. They have given them sword to fight. If they want to fight, this law has given them sword for the one that's ready to fight. Now you will be hearing fights between local governments and governors. There will be a clash. There will be a clash. We'll be hearing some clash now. Now that local government to some extent, chairman, they have had edge. Before they are headless. Now they have had edge. They don't, unlike the time that the governor will just come and sack them or do whatever he like with their fund. But there are still some clause that is still weakening local government. That's still weakening local government autonomy. Like how they got to that seat is very, very important. The election that will take local government, that will make local government chairman emerge is still very, very important. But we cannot throw a baby with bad water. It's not possible. We celebrate the one that we have and still hoping for more improved in the future. Until that kind of a clause are still looking at and look for the way to, to checkmate the excess power of governor in SEC. I mean, state electoral body. Like we are clamoring for the independence of INEC in the federal level. That appointing INEC chairman shouldn't be the function of a president. It shouldn't be what president will just pick somebody and make him INEC chairman. That one has subjected INEC. He has limited the power of INEC, and he has subjected them to the executive arm of government. So if to say we can make them more independent, like judiciary system of government, though executive, they are still look for the way to penetrate, but it's not as porous as like that of INEC. If to say they can still make INEC or SEC more a bit independent, maybe we will be able to get what we are looking for. They can make them independent by make their commission to be independent on their own. You know, as they have judiciary is independent on its own. The judiciary that you cannot go and choose somebody that is not a lawyer, that is not a judge, to come and receive justice. We have NCJ. I mean, the judiciary commission, they are there. So if to say we can have, at least if they can enjoy that kind of autonomy, the people that will be saddled with the electoral process, if they can have that kind of autonomy, to some extent, they will be independent and they will be able to say, to do whatever the system is right. Not that executive will be dictating to them. That's what I'm trying to say. Happen like that, and it will depend on the areas. You know, even despite that the Lagos state dominated, APC dominated Lagos state, there was local government election that they did that APC lose like 5 local governments. So now you will begin to see more of it gradually. You will begin to see more of it as time goes on. I told you that you will be hearing crisis between governor and local government chairman.
Well, I'm going to make response on that your question as it was supposed to be. I'm making a contributions on the recent judgment by the Supreme Court that the allocation to the local government should be paid directly by the federal government, direct to the local government, not to the state government as it was being practiced. I welcome the judgment, and I can decide the judgment a political and a misfeeling. Why I'm saying this is that as at now, there are some state government that constituted a caretaker committee, which is illegal. But there's nothing in the Nigeria Constitution that you can have a caretaker committee. The local government is a government that people should be elected to be the chairman. But some of the governors are using, I don't know how to decide the part they are using, to impose whom they feel should be there. But now, the local government caretaker committee have become useless, illegal. Then what is going to be the fate of the local government based on the recent Supreme Court judgment that allocation should be paid direct to the local government? And there are some states who have additional local government. They call them local council development authority. How are they going to survive? Because what they are enjoying now to survive, it is the allocation meant for a particular local government that the state government will now split for them. Example is Lagos. We have 56 local government. Now the fund allocated to the existing accredited local government will now be shared to those SCDA. But now, how are they going to survive? Because I, as a chairman of local government, I cannot collect money from federal government, then share it to another one. I know you should understand. So it's a misfeeling. It's a misfeeling. How are they going to operate? Are they going to collapse the SCDA that have been functioning like a local government? But they have the power of the local government. They undertake all the necessary functions of the local government, giving birth certificate, death certificate, and so on, collecting revenue, and so on. How are they going to survive? Whatever you are doing that is not supported by constitution or law is what is illegal. I cannot collect a grant from the federal government from my own local government now, then sharing it or giving some percentage to state government. It is illegal, uncalled for. And any local government chairman that does that is the enemy of the people. It's a traitor. It's an anti-democrat. And again, I will use this opportunity to praise the president for what he does, because he took all the 36 state governors to Supreme Court that they don't have right to be collecting the allocation of the state of local government in their own account. So I praise the man. He's a democrat, and he should try to expand the spirit of democrat to other national issue on ground. He is the first person in the country to create an SCDA during the Obasanjo regime. But Obasanjo said for him to employ democrat spirit, he froze the account of the state government for creating the additional SCDA, which is not supported by the federal government law. And again, I think this is the right time. This is the right time that the creation of the local government should be authorized by the state government, not federal. Because the federal government creates the states. So the states should be empowered to create local government. This is the right time. This is my own view, and it's genuine.